Your car guy here. Today I'm going to show you how to fix one of the annoying rattles in the dash on your GMC, Yukon, Denali, XL, or your Suburban or your Tahoe. So one of the things that we have happen is there is a clip that the place where it locks into tends to break up in the center of the dash, right here. And so what'll happen is this part will bounce and rattle as you're driving and create a vibration. And the reason is that the center clip that locks it into place is broken. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna remove this panel of the dash that's up against the windshield. Now it goes in just with these push-in clips. It'll have a nub sticking down with a steel retainer on it, and they'll go through a rectangular hole to lock them into place. So it's just a matter of prying up gently to get it unlocked. And like I said, the reason we have a rattle is because the rectangle that the one goes into in the center is broken. And we're going to show a way to get rid of that rattle. So in order to remove this dash panel cover up at the front, first we need to remove the A-pillar covers. On the driver's side, you're going to have a cover here that you'll pull out. Underneath there's going to be a bolt to remove. On the passenger side, we've got to remove the two tabs at either end of the grab handle, and that'll give us access to the bolts. So what you're going to do here on the driver's side, and let's try to get the lighting so we can see, you can just simply take a screwdriver, pry underneath, and pop that out. Then you'll be able to reach in here and get the bolt out. So you can simply take your 7mm socket, go into the hole, and remove the bolt out of there. Once the bolt has been removed, then you can pull out on this panel away from the window in order to get it to come down. And see, it's just going to slide right out. And then we're going to have one clip right here to remove for the speaker. And that's just a matter of pushing down on the tab right here to release the lock and then pulling it apart. Passenger side's very similar, but we have a grab handle. Now these grab handles have covers that cover the screws that mount up inside there. So you can just simply pry off these upper and lower covers in order to get access to the mounting screws. Then we'll just take out those two mounting screws and we'll be able to remove the grab handle. Now these are a slightly larger bolt in here because the grab handle has to handle weight that your other one doesn't have. So that's a 10mm socket, and then you'll be able to simply remove it. So now that we have our grab handle removed, same thing, we can simply pull this out away from the body. You're going to have this tube that's kind of glued to it. You just kind of pull that off and the glue will separate, and then lift up and out. Same thing, speaker connection, and we're just going to unclip and unplug and we'll be good to go. Now that we have our A-pillars removed, it's simply a matter of reaching up under here and popping up the dash. I like to just take a screwdriver and very gently pry because these clips aren't going to be too tight. They're all the way across. And you just go in and gently pop them up. Once they've all been popped up, then you can slide the dash back towards you. You are going to have an electrical connection on this sensor right here that you'll need to unplug. But you should be able to pull this back towards you and get access to it so that you can actually reach and unplug this sensor. To remove this sensor from the dash panel, you're simply going to want to grab it, rotate it counterclockwise, and just pull it right out. Then you can remove that entire panel piece so that we can fix the broken peg that's here and would have plugged in into this broken spot here. Now, had it not broken off this outer rim, it would have been simply a matter of, okay, do we just need to fix this or put a peg on it? But what we're going to do is we're going to actually use some velcro strips to just give this to where it'll zip together and hold some tension so it doesn't rattle and vibrate. And you could do this with like two-sided tape, but because this panel is designed to be removed, I'm going to use two velcro strips, you know, the two different sides of the velcro on opposite sides so that the panel can still be removed without causing any damage or extra stress in order to get it out. What I'm using today are these Scotch velcro pads, and you'll see they come with both sides of the pad in there. You can buy these at your local hardware store, grocery store, order them online, whatever you need to do. And we'll simply put them in a strategic position to make sure they're right. Now, because of the width of this lip here, compared to the width of these pads, I'm going to cut these pads in half to get a narrower spot so I can put them right in this connecting area between where the vent goes and the edge. So it'll stay nice and hidden and I won't have that pad showing up on my dashboard. All right, so what I've done is I've taken my Velcro and I've cut it in half. Now, it's important, leave it on the backing when you cut it. That way you're not messing up the adhesive that's on the back, because when you're going to pull it off, you're going to simply apply it right straight on here. Now, where I'm going to go, see, it's got these felt strips that are really designed to help reduce noise and vibration. I'm going to go right next to it on either side with the Velcro. What I'm going to do is first just give this a good cleaning with something, a nice alcohol-based wipe or something will clean it. Also clean the surface that you're going to go to on the dash. Okay, so to make sure that I get the pads on the dash and the pads on the cover exactly where I want them, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take and attach the other side of the Velcro directly to these pads I've already installed on the cover. That way what I'm going to do is I'm going to install that and I'm going to shove it down onto this, and they'll be directly in line so I don't worry about being out of alignment with my pads. Now, remember, before you put this in, you got to put this sensor back in right here in the center. You're going to put it in and just turn it, you know, 1/8 of a turn clockwise. It's not much at all, 1/4, 1/8, and it'll be locked back into place. Also, make sure that you're lining up all of your tabs that are at the front. You see these tabs? They're going to slide in to those positions, and get it all lined up so you're not forcing it and you don't risk breaking off another one of these tabs. You'll know you're lined up because all of these will be ready to just pop right down into their slots on the rest of the dash. So we'll put these on and then we'll install it. Okay, I have all my tabs inserted and lined up all the way across. It's maybe hard to see down in there, but they are lined up where it's just a matter of pushing down and they're going to lock into place. So we'll lock them all in and across here. Then we're going to take and use some pressure right here in the center to make sure that we get a good seal on our tape. And we're going to want to hold that for a few minutes in order to let the adhesive really bind to the dash. Now, after having let our adhesive bind, you'll see we've got a nice little Velcro connection there. And so if we ever need to remove this panel of the dash again for service purposes, we can do it without having to pull up double-sided tape or something along those lines. Not saying you couldn't use double-sided tape here. I just like the Velcro because it allows me to continue to have a serviceable connection here, but it takes away that rattle that's been annoying me in this vehicle. Now, as you go to insert your A-pillar covers, it's important to note a couple of things here so that we get everything lined up. This part right here at the front is designed to go in this little groove that's on that dash panel cover. And you'll note you have these other tabs that are going to drop right down into connecting holes here. Make sure to plug up your speaker wire. You don't want to leave that disconnected. And then this is going to snap into place. Leave this back up in where it was because you'll want to kind of press it back to this tube and to keep it from rattling behind that A-pillar cover. That's what that adhesive is there to do, is to prevent rattles. So it's just gonna be a matter of lining it up. You're gonna plug it in, line it up, and put it in place. You'll know you have the A-pillar cover in the right place when you don't have a gap here. Everything's lined up. We've snapped back in the clip that holds it up here. Now we just gotta reinsert our mounting bolts with our handle and then lock these covers back into place on this side. Make sure too, when you put your A-pillar cover on, to get your door seal over the top of it. If you've got it snapped into place, don't tighten your bolts up yet, and then you can take a screwdriver, run underneath it, and you can just kind of work it along nice and gently and just pull it right out over the cover The rubber has some good flexibility to it. Don't work it too hard. You don't want to tear the rubber. But then it's nice and in place. And you've got a good professional looking seal. Nobody will be able to tell that you got into here. Once you have your grab handle bolts tight, simply lock back in your bolt covers that hide the bolts, and you're going to be in good shape on the passenger side. Now all I've got to do is go put the driver's side A-pillar cover on. So driver's side, first things first, you plug in your stereo speakers at the front, if you have them. Not all vehicles are. So make sure as you're going to put this up that you've got your front ready to lock into there at the front. Good, no seam showing. Nice and tight installation. Make sure to get it up underneath your window seal here, or door seal, and snap it into place. And then you're going to simply tighten up or install back this 7mm screw and put the cover right back on, and you'll be finished. This is your car guide. Today we've taken an annoying rattle out of a dash on this GMC Yukon Denali. This is also applicable to most of your Chevy pickups, 2007 to 13. Like I said, your Tahoes, Suburbans, whatever it is that you have, and you can get rid of that annoying dash rattle. This is your car guide. Don't forget to like and share, subscribe to the channel, help us grow.